My former wife and I adopted Max when he was just a few months old and weighed 6 pounds. She couldn't have any other children, so we chose the route of adoption. And we had Max in our lives for 12 years. When he died, he was 8 pounds. That's right, Magnificent Maximilian Bitzer was a full-bred, AKA registered Yorkie, and one of the best pets I ever had in my life. Now, I've had lots of pets. I've had a Cayman alligator, a rabbit, a bird, a ball python, a piranha, aquariums, but nothing affected my life like that Yorkie. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, honored guest, if you've never had a dog in your life, I recommend that you have one. Because as I reminisce about Max, I realized I learned a lot of lessons from that little dog. The first lesson I learned was be present in the moment. It always amazed me every time we took Max out for a walk. Same neighborhood, same scenery, he was so excited. He loved it. In fact, we just go, Max will go for a walk, oh, he'd go crazy. You couldn't believe it. And we'd get out there and he'd start checking all the P-mail. That's right, we have email, dogs have P-mail, right? He left a lot out there too, I have to say. But he always enjoyed the moment all the time. Now, how often do we miss the moment because we're worrying about things that might happen, worried about things that did happen, concerned about everything going on around us, and we simply miss being present in the moment. I learned from that dog how great it was and how much less anxiety you have when you're simply present in the moment. Second thing I learned from Max was be persistent. When he wanted something, he did not stop till he got it. Now, those of you that have dogs know this was a mistake. When he was young, we started feeding him table scraps. Big mistake. Now, when it was just my wife and I, it was no big deal. We loved it and we thought it was fun. He loved to eat off the table. He loved steak, of course, and everything. But when we'd have friends over for dinner, oh my gosh, he thought he still should be fed. He didn't understand it's rude to do that when you have guests. So he would go crazy barking, going up to the guests, jumping on them, trying to get food from them. Eventually, we'd have to put him out in the garage, maybe give him a bone while he's out there. But we had to do something like that to get him off the guest and to be quiet so we could enjoy our meal. He was that persistent when he wanted something to eat because we had taught him to just come and get something from the table. And he was like that with anything he wanted. If he wanted a toy, he kept after it until I'd have to get up and go get it for him. Those of you that know dogs, I see you, you understand they are persistent when they want something. Well, it's the same in our life. I've learned that life rarely gives you what you want when you want it. Rarely do you get the things that are worth anything quickly. And there's a lot of things I've missed out on because I wasn't persistent and kept going until I got what I wanted. But I learned from that dog, if you do that, you can always reach your goal. The third thing I learned from him was to celebrate small moments. I got to tell you, for the entire 12 years I had him, I loved coming home at the end of the day. Because as soon as I opened that door, there's this flash of fur that comes flying from around the corner, running up to see me, does what I would call the welcome home dance, starts circling all around me, jumping up on my legs. I had to go over, sit on the couch. He would jump on the footstool, the chair, then the couch, then my lap, and sit on this little shelf that I have here for him, and just start licking me all over in the face for about 5 minutes, which I absolutely loved. My wife thought it was gross, but I loved it. And he would just do that for about 5 minutes, and finally he'd get tired, and he'd run off, and he'd go somewhere else. But it was awesome how he would celebrate me coming home. Made me feel great. But he celebrated things like that all the time. Max, you want to go for a walk? Boom, he was yelling, or making all kinds of noise and running everywhere and excited to go. We'd go out to the field and my wife would stand about 30 feet away. She'd get down, she'd say, hey Max, come here. He'd go flying over to her. And then I would stand over there and go, Max, come here. He'd go flying over to me. That's how we exercised him without us having to do a lot of exercise. Wore him out, but he loved it. And I've learned, guys, that we need to celebrate small things in our life. How many times have you missed something small in your child's life because you were worried about work and didn't celebrate it? How many times we miss something in our own life that we go back and look on and reminisce about, and we go, you know what, I should have celebrated that more. When we celebrate small moments, we have more joy, more happiness, and again, a lot less anxiety. But the most profound lesson I learned from Max was unconditional love and forgiveness. It didn't matter what I did to Max. He always forgave, and he always loved me. Now, a lot of times, I believe dogs love you even more than your spouses. And if you don't believe that, lock them both in the garage for an hour. Go let them out and see which one's happy to see you. Dogs have this amazing unconditional love. You can scold them. You can lock them up for an hour. It doesn't matter. When you open that door, they are so excited to see you. And I learned all about unconditional love from that dog. So it's amazing in our life how small things can have such a profound impact on our life sometimes. The next time that you're feeling stressed, a lot of anxiety, overworked, take some Yorkie wisdom and learn to be present in the moment. Be persistent. Celebrate the small moments. And above everything else, be happy when your spouse lets you out of that garage. Mr. Toastmaster.